What's up, you guys? Today I'm going to be doing my personal review of the LG G8X ThinQ that I've been using since January of 2020. Now, this phone was released back in September of 2019. I was lucky and blessed enough to find it on OfferUp from somebody about 20 minutes away from my home, selling it for $100 due to the back screen being cracked. So since then, I've kept nothing but a case on this just to prevent it from shattering more. As you can see, it does look pretty bad. I didn't know about it. He didn't post it in the ad, so I didn't know about it until I arrived. But for $100, you guys, you can literally replace these backs for like 12 bucks from Amazon or eBay. Might do the raspberry color. We'll see. But wireless charging still works perfectly fine. Fast charging 21 watts with the USB Type-C. Love that they added the 32-bit DAC headphone jack, and we have a single firing bottom speaker right there, as well as a front-facing speaker that adds some nice surround sound when you're watching movies or watching YouTube videos. 32 megapixel front-facing camera that does support 4K at 30 frames per second recording. We do have steady recording in the front, which, as it says right here, reduces motion blur in videos, and that is also with Ultra HD 4K. You can change that to Full HD 60 frames, 30 frames, 720, or even a 16:9 ratio. This phone is powered by a Snapdragon 855 processor, 6 gigabytes of RAM, and an Adreno 640 GPU, paired along with 128 gigs of memory. With that 6 gigs of RAM, you guys, it definitely helps when it comes to multitasking. I don't really notice a lot of lagging with this phone. I can be playing high intense graphic games, scrolling between social media, maybe go to YouTube for a little bit, pop up some Netflix, and that's why while keeping all of these apps open. Some days on the weekends, I'll use this phone instead of my iPhone 11 just because this one's already banged up a little, but I'll use it if I'm doing maybe some Grubhub, Instacart. I have location services on it all day, as well as Bluetooth, because I pretty much have my headphones connected all day as well. And I'm switching between LTE data and Wi-Fi. And the battery will get me pretty much through a full day's use. I will definitely have to top it up in the car while I'm driving. But if you don't use the phone a lot, maybe just a little bit of scrolling through social media here and there, maybe checking your email, taking a couple pictures, texting, making a few calls, this phone's going to bring you maybe a day and a half at most. See here, if I open the Geekbench app, it'll show you quite a bit of the specs. Thank God we are running Android 10. Android 11 is supposed to be coming in the second or third quarter of this year, and sometimes I'll even stress myself out by checking to see if there's any updates, but there never is. As you guys can see, we got a single core score of 743 and a multi-core score of 2508. I did want to just say when this phone came out, it did get a multi-core score of 2870 on Geekbench version 5.1, and as you can see, we're using 5.4 here. So I mean, a year and a half later, that's not too bad, you guys. So it just means that the processor is still holding up well and that it's still performing as it should. LG did a fantastic job with this phone, and in my opinion, they didn't really hold back too much. You can get this phone used on OfferUp, Mercari, maybe even eBay for around $170. New, this phone's still about $300 to $400. Things I may have forgot to mention to you guys in the beginning was that it does have a 6.4-inch OLED display. And I have to say, you guys, that this thing is so beautiful. Even out in the bright sun, you can see the screen so well. It supports HDR10. It's 83% screen to body ratio. So you can see we have a small chin, very small corners, and a very small forehead with that little nice dewdrop notch for the camera. The screen is Corning Gorilla Glass 6. It's supposed to protect the phone from dropping around 5 feet. But remember, guys, phone cases are super cheap, so always put a good case on these expensive screens. And don't worry you guys, I didn't forget to tell you that we are also blessed with an always on display and Bluetooth 5.0, so you can get those wonderful connections with your Bluetooth headphones and walk away and not have to worry about losing connection. So that's definitely a plus with this phone as well. So we do have a standard 12 megapixel lens that's paired with a 136 degree ultra wide 13 megapixel camera. Here's some photos that I did take with the camera, you guys, just so you can get an example of what kind of photos that it might take. And also, I did add a couple videos just so you can get a little bit of an example as well. So to answer the most important question, is the LG G8X really worth it in 2021? And the short answer to that is yes, it definitely is. The specs on this phone are still relevant. 6 gigabytes of RAM paired with 128 gigabytes of memory and expandable storage. The only thing this phone doesn't have is a 90 hertz display, which does kind of suck, but 60 hertz, there's nothing wrong. I guess that's why it still gets good battery life. The cameras are fantastic. And like I said earlier, the screen is really beautiful, especially in bright light. And although LG hasn't been the quickest when it comes to updates, we're supposed to get a total of 3 years. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we still go into next year with a couple more updates. When it comes to security, you are able to use the in-display fingerprint sensor, which is pretty quick, or you can use a lock screen combination. Unfortunately, there is no face unlock. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and if you want, go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.